Hey guys, it's been a while. Today I want to share with you a recent acquisition of mine. This is a 1928 $20 gold certificate. And as you can see, it's a fancy serial number. Specifically, it's a repeater serial number. Now, you may or may not know, fancy serial numbers on small size gold certificates are few and far between. From my research, I've found images of 9, and I've heard of a 10th note that has a fancy serial number. This came to market a few weeks ago at the Heritage Auction. I generally like to collect true binary fancy serial numbers, but I notice I'm becoming more and more drawn to obscure banknotes that have fancy serial numbers. So I thought the price was right, so I made this acquisition, and I'm happy I did. You can see this comes in a relatively high 63 uncirculated with a Q designation. On the front here, you can see there is a narrow margin on the right, which would be responsible for not earning a gem grade for this banknote. I think it has pretty good color. On the back, there is a few rub marks or stains at the bottom, but not bad enough to warrant any type of negative notes on the holder. Yeah, I'm happy with this acquisition. I did mention that these are few and far between for small size gold certs with fancy serial numbers. I am lucky enough to own another one. I've shared this one with you previously. This is a 3 of a kind, and this is part of my 8 banknote collection of progressive ones. So I have banknotes that start at serial 1 and go all the way up to a solid of 1, so 8 ones in a row. And this is part of that collection. I do want to share with you images of the other fancy serial numbers on small gold size or gold certs. This is the only other radar serial number on a small size gold cert that I'm aware of, and this was sold by a dealer that I purchased quite a few notes from off of eBay, and he sold this relatively recently. The biggest collection of gold cert fancy serial numbers, this comes from the Albert Grinnell collection, and this was auctioned off in the 40s, but currently the dealer USA Rare owns this. And as you can see, some of these notes, we have a 4,000, which means it's a bookend of a block. So back then they used to deliver blocks of 4,000 notes, and this was a bookend. The other bookend, banknote number 1, is currently in the Smithsonian collection. Here we have a few mini ladders, 1, 2, 3. And then here we have a super radar on a 20 and a 7 of a kind on a 20. And last image that I was able to find is this $50 gold cert with a radar of 55,000 on it. And this could be found in the book Special Serial Numbered Banknotes by Mike Abramson, which I shared with you previously. Anyway, I know it's been a while. I will make another video. I do have one other purchase from the auction, so I'll publish that video soon. But anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good one.